Let's break down and explain exactly what is happening in Hollywood and why everybody in the film industry is freaking out. What's up? I'm Michael. I'm an aspiring writer-director myself, and I'm actually in the middle of my first feature film right now, and I'm trying to explain everything I've learned along the way and take you guys along the journey. Now, as it relates to Hollywood, if you go back in time, Hollywood was the epicenter of all film production pretty much in the world. And the way that was able to happen is that's just where all the big studios were, and that's where all the big resources went, and before you know it, Hollywood is Hollywood. And the best crews, the best equipment, the best stages, everything you would need to make a film at the top level was in Hollywood. Hollywood was essentially able to monopolize themselves, and this is where you see all these big unions being formed. You see a lot of the bureaucracy coming up, and slowly over time, because Los Angeles has this monopoly hold over all of film production, they're able to make a lot of demands and slowly raise rates, and production ends up getting more and more expensive over time. Well, what's happening in the modern world is really just as simple as Hollywood is no longer needed to make the highest level quality films anymore. And you definitely don't need Hollywood if you're making indie films. In fact, they were almost never really doing much for you in the first place anyway. What this means for film workers, specifically the ones that were unionized living in LA, basically means that now, instead of all of the big productions or most of the big productions coming into their town and using them and all the other labor forces, shoots are going all over the country, and therefore film workers in the future are going to be turned into international freelancers. If you want to make your career as some sort of on-set position, the idea that you would be able to be stuck in one town and all the work is going to be localized there because there's that much production concentrated in one area, I don't think we're ever going to see that again. And you are competing against the entire world. So that is scary, and we're at a point now with technology that a lot of countries that, yeah, maybe 10, 20 years ago were way behind the curve, they've completely caught up and are more than adequate to deliver the same quality, skill, and resources to a film production as Hollywood. Why would I ever make a movie in California when I can make it cheaper somewhere else? There's just no reason for it. That is basically why Hollywood is collapsing, and it does not mean that the film industry is collapsing. It does not mean that it's this big scary time for filmmaking as a whole. I think it's just a very specific group of people, a very large group of people, right, that was centered in one area that's basically realizing that they're not going to be able to have a stable career, basically turning filmmaking into a 9-to-5, jumping from gig to gig in one town. Anyway, I hope that kind of clears up what exactly is happening in Hollywood, but I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on what you think on this whole thing, so let me know in the comments.